Good morning, everybody. I'm Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to Money Chat Now. Money Chat Now is a politically charged stock market show bringing you the politics behind the biggest moves in the stock market. It's presented with comedic common sense by an expert in financial literacy, and hey, that's me, Larry Steinhouse. Today is Friday, December 31st. It's the last day of the year of 2021. Yay! I think. I don't know. We'll find out what next year brings. Anyway, I want to welcome you to the show. We are here live on WWDB Radio in Philadelphia, and we are live on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube. And just remember, if you're watching online, hit that like button, hit that share button. Let me know you like the show. All right. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. You can also comment live during the show on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. Money Chat Now is brought to you by Investor Schooling, and you can attend a complimentary class next Thursday by going to investorschooling.com, and there you will learn about real estate investing and stock options trading from those who do it every day. Hey, I want to say hello to Vin. Thanks for watching online. I appreciate it. And Chad, we have a new viewer. Hey, I know Chad. Thanks, Chad. I appreciate you watching. So on today's show, we're going to be discussing, of course, the futures update. We're going to be talking about 2021 and what happened. We're going to be talking about the CDC and cruises, or the anti-cruises, or whatever they are. We're going to be talking about inflation inequality, unemployment bonuses, and a massive bank account mistake. This is fun. You're going to enjoy that one. All right. All right, let's talk about the futures. By the way, Linda says, how funny was it that we were followed by the Song of Silence on WWDB? I was thinking the same exact thing. All right, it looks like the Santa Claus rally is really slowing down yesterday, right after the Dow Jones hit a new 52-week high of 36,679. Anyway, the S&P also hit a high as it crossed over the 4,800 mark, and I'm going to tell you right now, I think 5,000 is coming, and look for some resistance at the 5,000 mark. I think that's where it's going to start to end. The NASDAQ was even up, even though Apple still didn't hit that 182 mark to make it a $3 trillion company. We saw the travel stocks get beat up just a bit because some power-hungry fraud at the CDC wanted to change the course again, but we'll be talking about that in a few minutes. Anyway, the futures right now, the Dow, it's down 92, the S&P is down 10, and the NASDAQ is down 38. Hey, I want to say hello also to Joe and Tom online. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. All right, let's talk a little bit about nostalgia and 2021. What a year. Hey, what do you guys remember most about 2021? You know, it was certainly a year that many want to forget. I'll tell you I do. Well, parts of it anyway. The scandemic and the accompanying government overreach is definitely at the top of reasons why people want to forget it, but let's discuss some other interesting things that happened this year. Right at the top, hey, do you guys remember anything about this? Like the Capitol riot that was referred to by liberals as the insurrection attempt? On January 6th, while Congress was certifying the so-called legal election, many Trump supporters, I call them Constitution supporters anyway, but I guess if you support Trump, you also support the Constitution, so I guess they are Trump supporters, right? Anyway, well, these supporters were lined up at the doors of the Capitol building chanting pro-Trump and anti-election fraud chants, when apparently and mysteriously, the doors to the Capitol were opened by someone. Well, we know what happened next, as some entered the building and others were pushed in by the crowd. You know, it basically served to be a really bad thorn in Trump's tenure as presidency and led him to being thrown off all the social media platforms. And of course, he was impeached for the second time, and then a month later was acquitted once again. Hey, how about the next thing that happened? How about the little fun moment that, or several fun moments actually, that was the Bernie Sanders Mittens memes. Hey, remember the Bernie Sanders Mittens memes that went around? They were all over the internet. It was funny. It was really, really funny. I loved it, right? So some of them were hysterical, like when the skilled Photoshoppers pulled Bernie in all sorts of fun and embarrassing places, including putting him in places like the moon, sitting next to Forrest Gump on the famous bench, and even a meme of him carrying out by the Capitol by the horned QAnon warrior was pretty funny too. But I do have to say that one of my favorite memes was the one with him sitting next to Chris Christie on the beach. Remember when Chris Christie was also memorialized with the meme a few years back when he was on the beach? Anyway, I just thought it was funny when you put them together. We also had the crazy crypto and meme stock traders on Robinhood last year. Do you remember watching GameStop and AMC shooting to the moon and then crashing back down? Dogecoin, Doggycoin, whatever you want to call it, was also part of this mess when it shot up from 7 cents to almost 65 cents. And of course, now it's trading at about 17 cents. And all the hoodlers or whatever you want to call them, or hoodling or hodling or I don't know what they're doing. But they're trying to get that back up to 70 to say, I should have sold it then. Anyway, how about the dumb sports teams with their political messages of BLM that caused the lowest turnout and smallest audience for football and other sports? In 2021, we also watched as William Shatner actually flew into space on Jeff Bezos' rocket named Blue Horizon. Interesting. We also lost some great and famous people in 2020. We lost Rush Limbaugh, and I'm trying to replace him, so if you guys think I can replace him, let me know. We also lost Larry King. We lost Alex Trebek, Stephen Sondheim, Ed Asner, Ned Beatty, Dustin Diamond, and some people that we kind of already thought died, like Tommy Lasorda, Cloris Leachman, and Hank Aaron. We also lost Larry Flint and many others. You know, that's so terrible that we lost Larry Flint, right? Anyway, in 2021, we also saw Elon Musk overtake Jeff Bezos as the richest man alive, and then we saw Jeff Bezos step down from Amazon. I guess he couldn't handle the disappointment. In 2021, the smartest thing in the White House, Joe Biden's dog, bit 2 people. Don't forget the 2 famous people in 2021, or at least for a while, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, when they were interviewed by Oprah. So the social media app, if you guys remember, called Clubhouse, was a big thing for a few months, and then it really wasn't. It kind of disappeared. And here's a good one. Remember Joe Rogan was blasted for taking ivermectin to cure his COVID? By the way, this was just about the time that J&J's vaccine was pulled off the market for blood clots. Oh, by the way, ivermectin helped Joe Rogan, while at least 9 people died from the J&J vaccine. Yeah, I'll let you do whatever you want with that information. Don't forget the 6 hours last year that Facebook was down, and I don't know, I kind of went into a panic when it was down for 6 hours. Anyway, when Facebook was down for 6 hours, right when the big Facebook expose was published in the Wall Street Journal. Coincidence? I don't think so. Anyway, there were so many other moments, such as the Delta and Omicron variants, and how we would continue to be manipulated by the fascist government. Of course, the most important and most exciting moment of 2021 was when Larry Steinhouse, that's me, started the show Money Chat Now. This show was quickly put on the radio by WWDB, and it's still there. I can't believe they haven't thrown me off yet. For all to enjoy. Hey, did I also mention the time that the president pooped in his pants when he went to see the Pope? Yeah, by the way, that happened too in 2021 as well. All right. Now that we went down memory lane, let's talk about some things affecting the market. Let's talk about CDC and cruises. Apparently, the people at the CDC must have bought puts on the cruise line stocks this week because they caused all the cruise lines to move down yesterday when they announced that people should avoid cruise travel regardless of vaccination status. So my first reaction to this headline was, what's wrong with you people? Must you continue to control people and make profits and keep the profits and major corporations to keep your egos from going away? First of all, let's examine the part that says, regardless of vaccination status, and replace it with the truth. The statement should say, because we finally realized that the COVID vaccines don't work. That's what they're saying to me anyway, right? Isn't that a clearer statement? Especially when everybody on a cruise ship must be vaccinated to board the ship. This irresponsible and biased statement from the CDC. By the way, think about all these groups, right? The people like the CDC who they knew nothing. They basically did nothing for years, and all of a sudden they're becoming famous because of the cold that's going around that everybody wants to call the Omicron virus. Anyway, the irresponsible and biased statement from the CDC was announced when cruise ships were operating in the U.S. Cruise ships operating in the U.S. waters have reported about 5,000 COVID cases to the CDC. Do you know how many cruise lines go out and how many people are on those cruise ships? 5,000 is not a lot. Anyway, it was basically a major spike, and the reason was because a month ago there was only 162 cases reported. Hey, cruise lines, stop reporting the cases and stop buying COVID tests. The reason they're reporting the cases is because they're testing everybody on board every freaking 5 minutes. Of course that's what's going to happen, right? All right. Basically, if you stop the test and you stop reporting the cases, it'll actually keep the industry afloat. Wasn't that a great word? Anyway, Brian Salerno with the Cruise Line International Association said that the trade group was disappointed by the CDC's announcement. Well, of course. He goes on and says, we're obviously disappointed at the CDC's decision to raise the travel level for cruises today, especially given the overwhelming level of effectiveness of cruise protocols that are resulting in significantly lower level of cases on cruise compared to land. So he's basically saying that more people are getting infected in restaurants than there are on the cruise ships, right? Anyway, Ann Madison, a spokesperson for the industry group, said that the COVID case identified on cruise ships make a slim majority of the total population on board, which is what I said earlier. The majority of those cases are asymptomatic or mild in nature, posing little or no burden to medical resources on board or on shore. Yes, because people get colds on ship all the time. It's a freaking cold. Leave us alone, you power-hungry POSs at the CDC. It's bad enough people have to try to enjoy their cruise while wearing stupid masks and disclosing what used to be private medical information. Hey, CDC, Dr. Fauci and Gestapo Joe, let people live their lives. Of course this drives down cruise stocks, just as they were moving up nicely yesterday. Anyway, the surprise was that they didn't move down as much as I thought they would. I actually thought it would be pretty bad. So, here. I'm going to tell you what we do. Before we take a break, hey, by the way, I want to say hello to Charles. Thanks, Charles. I appreciate you watching. And here you go. Before we take a break, what is your favorite nickname that I give the buffoon in charge? You know who I mean. The buffoon in charge. Think about that. What's your favorite nickname? You've heard me say so many. Hey, you're watching online? Please comment with your favorite nickname for him, and we will see you back in a minute.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse, and if you'd like more information on Investor Schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. I want to thank you all for listening on WWDB Radio in Philadelphia. And if you're watching online, please hit that share button so you can help your friends learn about how to make more money and have a big laugh at the same time. Hit that like button and let me know you enjoy the show. And of course, you can leave comments on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube, and I will try to respond to them. Hey, I want to say hello to also Bill and Tommy online. Hey, Tommy says that his favorite ones are President Poopy Pants, Let's Go Brandon, and Gestapo Joe. So if you guys have been listening to the show for a while, you know I say it all the time. Actually, I actually say Let's Go Brandon, but I don't actually refer to him as that because his name's not Brandon. By the way, I find that hysterical that the people, I'll put up Let's Go Brandon, and then some liberal will say, Brandon won. I go, Brandon won what? The president's name is Joe Biden. Don't you even know that? All right, so far we've been discussing the futures update, and right now the futures are up 71. The Dow is up, the futures are down 71. The S&P is down 8, and the NASDAQ is also down 26 3/4. And we talked a little bit about 2021 and your favorite, some of my favorite moments anyway. We talked about the fact that the CDC is once again warning you not to take a cruise. I don't want to take a cruise because I don't want to wear a mask, but hey, that's it. Coming up, we're going to be talking about inflation inequality and unemployment bonuses and a really interesting bank account mistake. We'll talk about that in a minute. But first, did you guys hit that share button? Did you hit that like button? Don't forget to leave comments. Let me know what you think about the show. And if you're listening on WWDB Radio, be sure to set a preset to this station and listen every day at 7:30. Also, look up Money Chat Now and Facebook when you get home and let me know what you think of the show. All right, let's get into the second half. Let's talk a little bit about inflation. Let's talk about the dark side of inflation. I guess it's always dark, right? All right, as we know, President Poopy Pants, there you go, that was for you, Tom. President Poopy Pants and his administration are responsible for the great increase of inflation. It's the greatest increase in inflation since the Carter years, right? Did you ever notice that Democrats often talk about helping the poor, but always end up hurting them more? Ooh, did you? I like that. That kind of rhymes. Anyway, well, as the inflation king Biden, that's a new one, by the way. Inflation king Biden, that's a new one. Inflation king Biden keeps screwing up. The poor and lower middle class are having a tougher time making ends meet. Some obvious problems are with the cost increases of just about everything. Now, think about this. People on a small, fixed, or small week-to-week budget can't afford a sudden 8 to 50% increase on any of their consumables. While Biden gets driven around by chauffeurs in a big bulletproof limousine, I guess it would have to be bulletproof, especially for him, that we as the citizens have paid for, the poor side of town can't even afford 5 gallons of gas to drive their beat-up hoopty. I'm personally, look, I got to be honest, I'm personally benefiting from inflation. You know, as real estate prices go up and the value of my rents go up, it's great. But poor communities are seriously suffering. For the average low-income home, they saw about a 6% increase in essential goods, and it cost them about $3,500 more per family. Now listen, $3,500 to many people is a lot of extra money to have to shell out every year, especially when you consider that the poverty level for the average 4-family household is $26,500. Now, I spoke last week about the ending tax credit boost, you know, the basically $300 per month per child payment that ends because Biden is holding it hostage for the Build Back Better nonsense plan, and will actually take away, the $300 from many of these families. Look, it continues to baffle me that the people the Democrats consistently screw over are the same people who keep voting for them. Stop voting for them. You want change? You're going to get change. I don't care if you like Trump or didn't like Trump. Look what he did to the economy. Oh, it was fantastic. Anyway, let's talk about unemployment bonuses. You remember when the unemployment got a bonus for staying home and doing nothing while you went to work every day to pay your bills, to feed your family, and of course to pay your taxes so you could pay for them to not to go to work to pay their bills and pay their families? That was hard to say. It was really annoying as we watched companies reopen and most stayed home on their extra $300 to $600 a week. Those same people who were paying for the freeloaders are now losing their jobs because of Gestapo Joe. And of course his Nazi regime demanding vaccines and masks in the workforce. Yes, a freedom-loving, responsible adult who worked through the entire scamdemic, essentially feeding the freeloaders, will be or has been fired because they want medical freedom. Well, here is some revenge for those living in some of the Republican states. At least 5 states have passed legislation boosting unemployment insurance for workers who lose their jobs for being unvaccinated, and several more states are considering similar protections. So far, Arkansas, Florida, Iowa, Kansas, and Tennessee have extended unemployment benefits for workers who were fired for not getting vaccinated against COVID-19. I gotta be honest, it's great revenge, but most of these people are responsible, hardworking people and will probably find work at a freedom-loving company shortly. So it's really nice to know that these governors just keep throwing stones at the dictator in charge, but I don't really think it's gonna be that necessary. However, coming up on the 7th, the Supreme Court is going to be holding a hearing on the illegal mandates set by Gestapo Joe, and I got to tell you, if they vote it down, we have a chance to be a freedom-loving country again. If not, things are going to get really, really ugly. So I'm telling you, January 7th is going to be a moment in history for this country. The bank accounts. Hey, Imagine waking up. Let's talk about this first. Here's a story about bonuses that 75,000 people received on Christmas. Huh. Think about this, right? Santander Bank accidentally deposited a total of $176 million into the accounts of approximately 75,000 people on Christmas Day. Wow. The mistakes happened when payments from 2,000 business accounts across the UK were processed twice, meaning some employees saw their wages double while suppliers got more than they were expecting. Look, it gets more interesting when you realize that because these were direct deposits, the money didn't only show up in banks owned by Santander. These deposits were made into several other banks because of the mistake by Santander. Now, they have a problem trying to recover this windfall that went into the accounts of people that Santander doesn't have a banking relationship with. I know what you're thinking, right? Screw that. I'm keeping the money. It's mine now. Well, believe it or not, the banking industry actually has a system to recover this money directly from accounts they deposited in, even if they don't have a relationship. And they'll probably get it all back. Listen to this, though. The system is appropriately named the Bank Error Recovery Process. This is fantastic. Finally, they named something that's real. I'd love to have, by the way, if this happened to me, I'd have a little bit of fun with this. I'd move the money from that account to another account and have them send me letter after letter after letter for months before I paid them back. Not because I would need the money, but because it would be fun to discover their process and how they would get it back. Would it go to collections? Would it be just letters? Would it be people knocking on my door? Would a cop come to my house? I don't know. Anyway, I'd also bet that some people have already spent that windfall and won't be able to pay it back at the moment. All right, let's take a break while I log into my bank account and see if I got any double royalties for my book that you guys pre-ordered. You guys did pre-order my book, didn't you?
Investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
Welcome back to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse. And of course, if you'd like more information on Investor Schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829. Hey, real quick, let's take a look. The futures are starting to get a little bit better. The Dow is only down 54, the S&P is down 5.75, and the NASDAQ is down 16. Hey, you guys having some fun today? I'm glad you guys are enjoying the show. And we're going to be talking about a couple of things coming up, but first, did you guys hit that like button? Did you hit that share button? Come on, let everybody know what great stock picks are going to be coming up, and share this information. And of course, leave me comments on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter, because they're fun. And if you're listening on WWDB Radio, set one of your presets to this channel and listen every day at 7:30 for all you need to know about the politics behind the stock market. All right, let's talk about some great tips for the day, and let's talk a little bit about my year. So I'm going to tell you, it's the last day of the trading year, and I got to be honest, I'm personally looking forward to the new year as my losses and gains reset back to zero, and I get to start the game all over. I just be honest, right? This year was my first really bad trading year in 16 years of trading. Look, I've had, basically it was just a couple of bad trades that made it really bad. Look, and I guess one bad year in 16 years of trading isn't so bad, and that's 12 years with my special rules. So it's not so bad. But many people ask me, why do I discuss my bad trades? Well, I'm going to tell you, the answer is simple. I want to be completely transparent. As someone who teaches the skills of making more money with stock options and real estate, I want my students and my fans to know that I make mistakes too. I'm not perfect. Just ask my wife. Anyway, with that said, let's talk about what's going on today. The futures aren't moving much, and like I said, they're down about 50, and I really don't expect anything big to happen today, unless, of course, the CDC recommends that we don't change, that we don't change the year or something like that, right? Yeah, whatever. Anyway, Apple didn't make the $3 trillion valuation, and I really thought it was going to do it by the end of the week, and it didn't. We talked about the travel stocks being beat down a bit on news, and I don't expect them to stay down there long. I'm going to tell you right now, the travel stocks are still a great play. January is historically a great month, so position yourself well and get ready to make some money in there as well. Okay. Crypto, of course, is just vacillating. It's actually moving kind of violently. I also want to see what's going to happen in the next month or two because I don't know what's going on with that. That's kind of rough. Hey. All right. Anything, by the way, so there's nothing really happening that much with gold and silver either. And, look, I keep telling people, buy gold, buy silver, put it in a drawer somewhere, save it for when you need it. It will go up, but besides that, it's also going to be great currency when we hit the zombie apocalypse. That's such a weird word. I always have trouble with it. Anyway, the Treasury Bond did go an inch over the 1.5 mark, and that you got to be careful for because that will affect tech stocks as it always does, and it's possible that's why Apple stalled out this week and didn't quite make the $3 trillion valuation. Hey, by the way, before we finish the day, did you guys make any money on any of the stock advice we've given you so far? I've given you so far. Hey, if you're enjoying the show, also leave some comments. And if you're watching on any of the social media platforms, please leave a comment on your thought about the show. Or if you've taken any of the advice, please share this show with your friends. Don't forget, they can watch it anytime. So share it right now and watch it. I want to thank you, of course, for your continued support. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. I also want to thank the listeners on WWDB Radio. And of course, I want to thank you all for watching, listening, and I want to wish you all an incredible new year, a very profitable new year, and a fun new year. And hopefully you'll get to go out and do something fun this year. So have a profitable new year. Have a great new year. We will see you on Monday.